Petty traders in the smoked fish sector across local Cameroonian markets say this product is highly demanded by households as smoked fish is a must-have for every meal. But to what extent does this savor the different delicacies that Cameroonian women and men provide? High Prime for today brings attempted answers. And Nigerian Consul General for the Southwest Northwest region pays a working diplomatic visit to the Northwest region, where he was heartily welcomed by Governor Lele Lafrique Adolf and his fellow Nigerian compatriots. Plus, Côte d'Ivoire 2024 provides the state-of-the-art stadium to the continent of Africa as the biggest football jamboree is slated for next January 2024. Those were headlines. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime for this Tuesday, the 5th of December 2023. We start off with one of our lead stories where Cameroonian markets see we start off with the political story. I beg your pardon. The Cameroonian lawmakers from the opposition party has expressed worries concerning the way in which the executive arm of government is going about with the various functions and spending when it comes to public management. This was during the November session of Parliament that just ended in Yaoundé, as the team of opposition MPs brought their worries to the Prime Minister and other state cabinet ministers of the Republic. Katsi with a reporter on that story. The ordinary November session for Parliament for the presentation of the 2024 state budget wasn't void of drama, as MPs on the opposition camp gave the cabinet ministers and the Prime Minister head of government a run for their money.
Ça, c'est déjà prévu. Ça, c'est déjà prévu.
Immédiat, prenez-vous. Ouais. C'est même vous qui avez dit que je n'ai pas de congrès. Hein? Vous êtes fort. Je suis un élu. Au moins ici, j'attends le sous-préfet.
Though from the minority standpoint, these lawmakers accuse the state of Cameroon for not acting in conformity of the text of law.
Vous parlez ici.
Ça fait plus un.
Vous ne parlez plus.
Ok, vous parlez alors.
Fini de parler.
Vous êtes député comme nous. Il y a une violation de la loi.
La démocratie.
Non, la démocratie c'est la loi. Non, c'est pas le nombre, monsieur. La démocratie c'est la loi. Que dit la loi?
La loi du nombre.
Non, la loi a été votée ici. C'est 15 jours.
La judiciaire posée là. Et on passe au vote.
On ne va pas voter.
Nous sommes nombreux.
The chairman of the SDF political party, on his part, frowns on the mining code that was presented and defended by the interim minister of mine, where he posed worries on the Balam and Lola Bay oil deposit that is predominantly dominated by the Chinese, whereby the Germans were the first to discover of such minerals.
C'est tout simplement scandaleux parce que nous savons très bien que ça ne va pas marcher. Jusqu'à présent, ça n'a pas marché avec d'autres entreprises publiques. Je ne vois pas pourquoi ça commencerait avec la Sonamine demain. Monsieur le ministre, ma collègue qui est passée avant moi a déjà posé cette question, mais elle me tient à cœur. J'aimerais vous dire que les représentants du peuple ici présents prennent ça d'un très mauvais goût, qu'un code soit présenté dans le domaine productif où les Camerounais n'ont pas la part du lion. Et par Camerounais, je parle du secteur privé. Il ne faut pas les remplacer avec le secteur public qui, je l'ai déjà dit et je me répète, est dans l'incapacité d'être productif dans notre pays. Monsieur le ministre, j'aimerais vous poser quelques questions sur le fer de la Lobé, ou si vous préférez, la province de Mamel, dans l'océan, où votre département a signé un bien curieux contrat. Et je me réjouis que vous y étiez il y a une semaine. Cela démontre que peut-être vous avez les mêmes préoccupations que moi. Mais, monsieur le ministre, il est quand même scandaleux que ce contrat avec cette entreprise chinoise donne la part belle ou sinon tout simplement donne tout aux Chinois. Nous savons que normalement ce fer avait été découvert par les Allemands et ensuite confirmé par les Français bien avant que le Cameroun n'arrive. Et donc ces Chinois n'ont fait aucun travail d'exploration. Ils sont venus récupérer des informations que vous aviez déjà et pour pouvoir exploiter cette mine, ils ne payent pratiquement rien.
From the different interventions from the lawmakers and the cabinet ministers, the government was charged to act proactive when it comes to the dealing of several issues facing the country so as to make Cameroon agenda moves forward. Traders in some Cameroonian local markets have expressed their deep satisfaction with the way in which smoked fish is highly sold by them, as many are demanding for the said product. Smoked fish is used in most African dishes as it adds more flavor to the various delicacies. Alice Leke Ikomi transcribed to the various local markets across Mpoya to find out sample opinions from traders dealing in the sector.
Most African dishes are found in many parts of the world and loved by many.
This is what they call bonga.
Okay.
Yes, bonga. I believe this one is something common where most people they know. Ekpang, porridge chop, bitter leaf, banga soup, achu.
Yeah.
Now achu, my throw small light. Achu, we want enjoy them. We take it so you burn and small for fire. We put it inside your achu.
Wow.
Make achu get good taste. So this is called bonga. But they get bigger ones more than this one. They just unfortunately say my bigger ones them it don't be finished. So but all them two are the same.
These dishes have a common characteristics that makes them unique. Smoked fish is what makes these dishes special, and each type of fish suits a particular meal.
One is the one what they call them stockfish. This fish is from Norway. So the only place where it get depot is Nigeria. So the big force for go buy for Nigeria. So the reason why the packet and small like this is because they come for bail. So with that bail, one man no fit stand why a full bail. So that's the reason why we packet them like this. And a packet of this is 1,000 francs.
Okay.
We have Eru.
Like for what is good. We use this especially for Eru. It be good for Eru because it bring out the good flavor and the taste. So this is for the bone. This one at the bone.
There is ekpang and achu that these fishes add flavor to them and makes it more better.
Frenchman they call them ceinture. We ceinture mean for English a belt. Why we would call them snake fish or doge. This one too it be very good for Eru because it get taste. And it also be very good too for Bible because when you want succeed for fixie, you no get bone for a flesh, but again a one straight bone. So it is sticky for water. When you don't be like it don't start soft, it is easy for you for fix them. You just drag them like this and you move them. And as it is so it need scatter.
The smoked fishes are of different shapes and sizes and good to go with all the African dishes.
This one, they call this one mosobo. Now that mosobo, now the name where most people they know, but Frenchman knows it, they call an a bar. This is locally called bar. Now this mosobo, the only problem with mosobo na say if you don't know for use it, it is scatter, but it get taste very well. So most people the way they want to travel out, they come for mosobo.
It is a fact that smoked fish has a unique taste, and since there are many types of dishes in Africa, Africans just need to strategize and make it worth the price.
We remain in the fishery industry this time around with fish imports, where Cameroon has recorded an increase of 27.3% of fish imports as for last year. A recent report from the Ministry of Economy reveals this is in a bid to satisfy home produce deficits that the country is suffering from, as she is unable to produce more fish to satisfy the taste of her own citizens. In the paper that follows, Cynthia Lato has more on that story.
According to a recent report from the Ministry of the Economy, Cameroon's 2022 fish imports stood at 241,798 tons. This represents an increase of 27.3% compared to the previous year, when they summed up to 190,000 tons. This import was in a bid to satisfy home production deficit, as the country produced only 233,100 tons in 2022 compared to 223,400 tons in the previous year. With the quantities produced and combined, Cameroon had 474,100 tons of fish in 2022. This allowed the country to satisfy part of the demand estimated at 500,000 tons per year. The same report revealed that the government is working to raise the level of production in the fish industry with measures including carrying out better control of the maritime coast, continuing the fight against illegal fishing, and the development of commercial aquaculture, amongst many others. The Bank of the Central African States (BEAC) projects an increase in fish production in the country for this end of year, favored by the drying up of rivers under the effects of drought.
We remain with you, Cynthia Lat, this time around in the banking sector across the SMAC region. For the past years, the economy of Cameroon has consolidated her position as the Central African sub-region banking hub, according to a 2022 report by the International Monetary Fund that reveals that this is due to the fact that Cameroon is having the biggest economy among her SMAC peers. More with you, Cynthia Lat.
According to data reported by the Central Bank (BEAC), Cameroon alone houses slightly over 2.8 million accounts opened in bank records of December 31, 2022. This represents 60% of the 4.7 million bank accounts recorded in the 6 SMAC countries during the year reviewed. Cameroon thus dominates the banking sector of the SMAC region in 2022. BEAC's report highlights that the number of bank accounts recorded in the country doubled those in Gabon, Congo, and Chad combined. Over 1.4 million bank accounts were displayed in these 3 countries in 2022. Congo had 588,701, Gabon saw 507,153, and Chad saw 314,850 bank accounts. By 2030, Cameroon's influence on the SMAC banking sector is expected to be more significant. According to the National Development 2020-2030, Cameroon aspires to expand its banking network to reach 30 entities by 2030. The document says all will be made possible through its outlined development objective of the banking sector and population banking. Through this, Cameroon could hope, economists say, to match the banking networks of other countries with the same level of development like Ivory Coast or Senegal in West Africa. Data from the Central Bank of West Africa indicate that Ivory Coast, for instance, had 4.59 million bank accounts in 2020, with 28 licensed banks, which is 1.8 million more accounts than Cameroon in 2022, with 19 active banks.
You are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from Amaze Studio here in High Television. On to diplomacy now. The Nigerian Consul General for the Southwest and Northwest region, Ambassador Lawan Bapa, has concluded a 2-day working diplomatic visit to the Northwest region, where he was heartily welcomed by the governor of the Northwest region, Lilil Afrik Adov, alongside the Nigerian community who turned out massively to welcome this diplomat of theirs. Among the key visits that took him to that part of Cameroon was to commission the newly elected officials of the Nigerian Union living in the Northwest region. More with our reporter from Bamenda. The Nigerian Consul General for the Southwest and Northwest regions of Cameroon is in Bamenda for a working session with the governor of the Northwest region and the Nigerian community living in this parts of the country.
Visit to the Northwest region actually is to pay my courtesy call to the governor, and at the same time also sensitize the Nigerian community to rally around together to live harmoniously with their Cameroonian host, and also to ensure that they always comply with the laws, of Cameroon. They should abide by all the rules and regulations, and also they should do everything possible to regularize their stay so that they're properly documented and so on.
Being elated by the welcome accorded him and his delegation, the Nigerian diplomat is quite satisfied with the services from the immigration office, as he stipulates on all his compatriots to dwell on the legality of the law while living in Cameroon.
That the governor was able to make available also the SDA and also those in charge of immigrations and whatever, to be here. And I'm here actually along with the outgoing executive of the Umbrella Nigerian Union here in the Northwest region, as well as also the incoming executive of the Nigerian Union. So they're here, they have had it directly from the horse's mouth. They have heard everything that they need to hear, from His Excellency, the Governor of the Northwest region.
Speaking on the socio-political impasse rocking the Northwest and Southwest region, he shares it's incumbent for peace to reign, as his country, Nigeria, is facing a similar conflict in the southeastern parts of the country.
Yes, as you are aware, the challenge that Cameroon is facing is not only peculiar to Cameroon alone. Similar challenges also is being faced by Nigeria. So really, at the diplomatic level, that is at a bilateral level between Nigeria and Cameroon, we have a lot of areas of collaboration. So really, what we would need to do is to continue to encourage, the meetings, particularly between the governors of the various border regions, to ensure that, the identified challenges are being brought forward and then also duly addressed.
To crown his visit, the Consul General retired to the Big Mancon Hall in downtown Bamenda, where he installed the newly elected members of the Nigerian community living in the Northwest region. During his stay in Bamenda, the diplomat was given a special symbolic gift for the governor to be used for the summoning of his compatriots, as both gentlemen exchanged gifts. With this dual function of the diplomatic visit of the Nigerian diplomat to the Northwest region, it cements a new era for the Nigerian community living in this part of Cameroon. We cross over to the fashion world. With the world's evolution in fashion, trending designers have become the desire of most persons across the world, as it is the case of designers' handbag for women. High TV's Aisha Mbeng picks interest in this fashion movement as she went visiting some local shops across the town of Boya.
Fashion accessories and designers are the trends of today's generation, most especially fashion handbags for ladies. Almost all ladies go in for designer bags with trending designer brands such as Zara, Dior, Gucci, Fendi, and a host of others. The designer bags are being purchased by ladies of different age groups. Notwithstanding the purchase environment, the bags can be gotten in shops, markets and quarters.
Everybody, even mothers can hold it, even those slim queen can hold it. It's meant for everybody. Like this one, like this. You see, like that grandmother just came and bought it like that. Yeah, this one is good for them also.
Following the fashion trends of today, small and medium-sized bags are more up to date, making the waves and the hits in the world of female fashion. And ladies cannot do without the bags.
Even mothers can hold it, even those slim queen can hold it. It's meant for everybody. Like this one, like this. You see, like that grandmother just came and bought it like that. Yeah, this one is good for them also. But the other one, they can hang it because some grandmother always like something that they can put their phone inside. Yeah, like this one, like this. Somebody can come and buy this one because you need to put phone inside and the money in different pocket like that.
The small and medium-sized designer bags are more comfortable and suitable to take for parties, school, work environment, hangouts with friends and dates.
If you are going to a party, to a marriage, to a birthday party, any party that you deserve to go there, you can come to Cordelia Beauty Shop, yeah, at OIC. You will meet all type of color that can match with your shoe, your dresses, maybe your hair. I don't know. It depends on your style.
These designer bags are very essential for a lady's outing as it completes their outfits, increase their elegance, and boost their confidence as the gorgeous creatures of God that.
On to news beyond the shores of Cameroon. A Ugandan woman has given birth to a set of twins at the age of 70. She becomes Africa's oldest nursing mother. This happened last 29th of November in the capital city of Kampala in Uganda. Katsi with you, Aishamben.
Advances in medicine have meant that even past menopause, which typically happens between the ages of 45 to 55, women like Namukwaya are now able to give birth. The woman had undergone fertility treatment at the Women's Hospital International and Fertility Center. This is extraordinary achievement, delivering twins to Africa's oldest mother at 70 years.
There are some opinion of group of people who would say, look, if this woman is 70 and she's likely to die earlier and the children be left helpless, and then that's not a good thing to encourage this sort of women to become pregnant.
Safina Namukwaya delivered boy and girl twins via cesarean prematurely at 31 weeks. The babies were put in incubators and are said to be stable.
I gave birth to twins. When I had a checkup, they told me I had twins. I was very happy. And I took good care of this pregnancy as a happy person.
This is Namukwaya's second delivery in 3 years after giving birth to a girl in 2020. Age is just a number. A young woman can also die of complications from pregnancy. An old woman, if she is fit, can also survive. The twins' birth makes the Uganda woman Africa's oldest new mother.
On to our sports page for tonight for this edition of High Prime. The West African nation of Ivory Coast says she is ready to host the continent's biggest sporting jamboree come next January 2024. This as she provides the 6 state-of-the-art stadiums that she will be presenting to the continent when it comes to January. This to the build-up to this next year's tournament. Sonita Ngunyu picks a prelude and overview of the 6 different stadia that Ivory Coast will be presenting to the continent of Africa.
Wanting to know the number and the various stadia that have been chosen to host the 2023 African Cup of Nations, I'm going to be giving to you an overview on the various stadiums that have been chosen to host of the African Cup of Nations coming January 2024. I am Sonita Ngunyu. Stay tuned. As January 2024 approaches, the fever of the 34th African Cup of Nations edition is getting high, with infrastructures being one of the main characteristics of hosting the African Cup of Nations. Here are the 6 AFCON 2023 stadiums that will host the 24 countries for the second time in Ivory Coast come January to February 2024. Under this is Stade Alassane Ouattara in Abidjan, with a capacity of 60,000 seats. It is Ivory Coast's new national stadium. It is the largest stadium in the country and the most modern in Africa as well. Second on the list is Laurent Paco Stadium, capacity 20,000. It's a brand new stadium built between 2018 to 2023 in preparations of the 34th African Cup of Nations edition in Ivory Coast. The stadium was named after Laurent Paco, a late Ivorian actor who died in 2016. Charles Kanun Brewery Stadium, capacity 20,000. It's equally another new site built between 2018 to 2023 in preparations of the 2023 AFCON. It is another new modern stadium in the nation's capital. It was initially called Stadio de Yamoussoukro. The Boni Stadium was named after Charles Kanun on April 2023 after the country's former Prime Minister Charles Kanun Brownie, who died in 2001. Stade Felix Houphouët-Boigny, capacity 33,000, is located in Abidjan. The stadium was named Stade Cheikh Idriss in order to recognize the French boatman in the 1961 French game, and now called Felix Houphouët-Boigny, the country's first president. It is also called Le Félixie. It equally hosted the finals of the AFCON in 1984, and in 2009 and 2013, there was a stampede which caused the death of 19 and 61 people respectively. Prior to the 2023 African Cup of Nations, the venue has been upgraded with a roof covering the entire auditorium. Stade de la Paix is another stadium that will be used in this year's edition in Ivory Coast. Capacity 40,000, built in the Bukayet city with about 800,000 people. And this particular city is known to be a city where many Ivorian footballers like Yaya Touré and Ibrahim Touré were born, amongst others. The stadium was built in the second largest city of Ivory Coast and hosted the 1984 AFCON. The arena equally acted as a peace place where in July 30 and 31st, 2007, the so-called ceasefire ceremony took place in the stadium, symbolizing an end to the Ivorian crisis and equally representing the current name, the Stade of Peace. Following the 33rd AFCON edition held in Cameroon, the avenue was expanded from 23 to 40,000 capacity. And at the last spot, it's the Amadou Ngong Coulibaly 20,000 newly built capacity stadium to host the upcoming tournament. Construction works started in May 2018 and ended in 2019 with Amadou Ngong Coulibaly as Prime Minister of the GFCS. He died in office as he was the venue's patron before his demise. The naming of the stadium was already announced in July 2023.
With those magnificent, beautiful stadia provided for us by Côte d'Ivoire, this is where we draw the curtains of today's edition of High Prime for today, Wednesday, the 5th of December 2023. Thanks for watching and good night.